Hi guys, it's Jack from JRP Custom Painted Furniture. Welcome to my channel. This is me and this is this week's project. Yes, that's right, I've got my very first Ikea hack to do. So before we start anything, we need to give it a good clean with a degreaser to get rid of all the oils so that we can have a sand and just take the shine off it so that the paint has something to adhere to. Now I'm using my orbital sander with 120 grit, just lightly scuff sanding it so that it roughs up the surface for the paint. Now if you've done an Ikea drawer before, you know that they have these little plastic clips that hold the drawers into the unit. So all you need is a Phillips head screwdriver to unclip them and then your drawers will slide straight out. Now that we've gotten the drawers out, we're going to give it another sand just so we can get to the spots that we missed earlier on. 120 grit on my orbital sander will get to these spots fine. I'm giving it a light spray with my air compressor before I give it a wipe down. Now that we've roughed up the surface, we want to remove all the dust particles from sanding so that the paint actually adheres to the piece as opposed to the dust. I've decided that I wanted to modernise this piece, so I've gone down to Bunnings for those of you who are in Australia, which is similar to the American Home Depot and Lowe's, etc, etc. But Bunnings have this door trim. And what I'm doing is I'm using my miter saw to cut it up into slats, and I'm going to apply the slats to the front of the drawers, just to give it a more modern feel and to take away from the original Ikea furniture look. So the slats have all been done. Now what I'm doing is just placing them on the drawers where I want them. So no measuring's taking place just yet. We're just sort of designing it and figuring out where I would like to place it. This is the design that I've decided on. So now we're going to get all our tools together so that we can attach them to the drawers. We're going to require a nail gun, we're going to need adhesive, I'm using Selleys, and we're going to need a measuring tape. First we're going to apply the adhesive on the back of the slats, and then we're going to place the slats on the drawer and use the tape to make sure that it's in the exact spot that we want it before we nail it down with our nail gun. Now as you can see, I triple check everything before I do it, plus because it's got glue on the bottom of it, it is slippery, so it is moving slightly, so I keep making sure that I check the measurements before I use the nail gun. And obviously, because we've nailed it down, it's squashed the glue a bit, so we wipe away any excess. We are now just repeating this same process on each of the 5 drawers. After you use your nail gun, make sure you always wipe away any excess glue because you don't want clumps of glue at the end of each slat. If you're new to this channel, please like and subscribe. I'm trying to grow this channel, so every little bit of help is appreciated. And if you're not new, welcome back. I hope you're enjoying the video. Now we're moving on to priming. I've got my Wagner spray gun out and I'm using Taubmans 3-in-1 primer to adhere to this. Now remember, we did scuff this unit up, so the primer should hopefully adhere quite well. Because I've taken the drawers out and I've added the slats to the drawers, I decided to hand paint them just with a paintbrush to make sure that I get the paint where I need to go. We want to make sure every section of the drawer is primed correctly. And we've encountered our first problem. The primer didn't stick. So I'm going to have to try something different. I've pulled out the Zinnser primer and we're going to give that a go and see whether that sticks to the unit a little bit better. I know that I've prepped it all correctly and I know that everything else is right, so fingers crossed this works. After I applied the primer, I did a scratch test and nothing came off. So I'm so happy about that. So now it's time for colour. I've chosen this sage green. Now this is just a mixture of colours that I had lying around my workshop. So no actual brands. I've literally just thrown it all together, tested the colour and I loved it. So enjoy. Now we're just spraying the top of the unit down with our custom colour. This is real time, so to give you an idea of how slow you should go with your spray gun. Always make sure you do a light sand in between coats. Now, keeping in mind this was the first coat, so it is going to be blotchy, it is going to be streaky. Your second coat will be better, I promise. Don't stress after you do your first coat. You're always going to do a second coat, potentially even a third or fourth coat if needed. So don't worry about how your first coat looks. As you can see, the second coat's going over this beautifully. I've decided to give it a top coat just to see how the finish looks. I'm using Bondall Monocel clear varnish in the water-based satin, just to give it a little bit of a shine, but not a high gloss. Now I'm coming in with the second coat of the clear varnish. I like to give all my pieces a minimum of 2 coats of top coat, just to get that extra protection, and being that this is a dresser, there will be things placed on top of it all the time. I want to make sure that there is definitely no room for error. Now, do you remember what this IKEA unit looked like at the very start? There is a huge difference in it now. We have modernized it, we've changed the color. It looks fabulous. And to be completely honest, it doesn't even look like IKEA anymore. I'm so happy with it. I hope you like this hack, guys. So please like and subscribe to our channel and help us grow. See you next time.